I even went up to my room, I asked the guy for a second key, and he was looking at me all judgingly because I'm, roided out and tatted out with no shirt on and like this mean, ugly American. So he gives me a key. I walk back up to my room. Now I see from the corner that the deadbolt has actually left my door open. It's ajar with the deadbolt keeping it open. So I'm like, man, there could be a lot of things on the other side of this door. Dead body or my clothes. I don't know. I'm so scared. Open up the door. All my clothes, wallet, passport, my money, completely, perfectly laid out on my bed. So I definitely took them off willingly. About 30, no exaggeration, 30 plastic champagne glasses. Like they're like disposable cups, but they're like champagne flutes.
Yeah.
All over. Half full, some of them full, some of them completely empty. Some of them with lipstick on them. A bunch of half-smoked cigarettes and ashtrays. Like, I had a party in my place. Don't remember a damn thing.
Jason Williams, the Globetrotters, a dead limo driver.
The whole thing. And at some point, I must have decided, this party's great. I've smoked crack, and I'm showing you guys how to... But it's time for me to take my clothes off and go somewhere else. And I ended up with poo in my pants. And I don't know what happened in between.
What was the hotel you wound up at?
I don't know.
You don't remember the name of it?
No. But it was pretty nice. It wasn't like the Ritz.
But in your crazy haze, you're like, I need to get a room in this place, and you probably tried to forego the traditional front desk experience because you were cracked and roided out, and you went, you know what?
Just walk in.
I got my fucking underpants on. What do you mean I got to go to the front desk?
It was one of those moments where even at that age, I was like, I need to slow down. I need to handle my business better. And sure enough, I took a shower and I was back at the clubs night. Yeah. It was like 2 weeks of just ridiculous.
Now, your ecstasy song that you sang on Loveline, was that just off the top of your dome?
Yeah. I found that when I do Sven, the Viking of Disco, if I think of something beforehand, it's never funny. I have to just like let it dovetail into
it. Was good.
Thank you.
And when can people listen to Loveline?
10 to midnight here in Los Angeles. It's syndicated around the country. And other places it's played sometimes midnight to 2 a.m.
And
but
it's
usually
every night?
10 to midnight, 5 days a week. Sunday through Thursday.
You tell me a number, but that's got to be some good
I am at a point now where I can live off of working 2 hours a night. So, yeah.
Like, would I want to replace you is what I'm asking.
Yeah, they'd pay you more than they pay me. So, you could make a... Dr. Drew makes a living off of Loveline. All the other TV shows he does, excluding his new HLN show, which is a big show, up until this point, like Celebrity Rehab, all that stuff was not paying his bills. Loveline was paying Dr. Drew's bills.
And Dr. Drew, by the way, is like the hottest man that ever lived.
Yeah.
Every woman in the world they would just throw themselves out. This guy's Robert Plant.
Look at it this way. He is very attractive and muscular and like a good-looking older man. On top of that, the two things Americans idolize most: celebrities and doctors. When you're a little kid, what does every mom tell their son they want him to be? It's like, oh, you're going to grow up to be a doctor. Every daughter, you're told, you're going to marry a doctor. It's the number one thing he's a celebrity and a doctor mixed into one, and he's handsome.
14-inch cock. They call him Johnny Horsecock down at the hospital.
And it's thick.
Yeah.
And it's thick like a Pringle can.
So if anybody's listening and you want to listen to Mike Catherwood on Loveline, please do it. He's a great guy, and hopefully the ratings will go up and they'll give him a big raise because he deserves it. He's cool as hell. The guy used to smoke crack and shit his pants in Paris.
It's true.
When did you learn to cook coke? Like, who taught you?
I don't want to say his name because he's still my good friend. He still lives about 10 miles from here.
Is he in show business?
Nope.
Is he sober?
He doesn't smoke crack anymore, but he drinks daily.
Does he drink to the point where you're like, geez, this fucking guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love him. He's one of my closest friends, so I don't want to sit here and be like, he gave me, because I mention my friends by full name on Loveline all the time, and when I tell these stories, these crazy stories.
But it's not Peck.
But this is the one where it's like, he gave me the recipe for crack. I'd rather not, like put him out there.
And how did that come up in conversation? Just two guys in a car?
We always would we'd be playing Twisted Metal or something on the original PlayStation.
Yes! And when you finish it, it's great. I finished it. What were you listening to when you finished it?
Probably White Zombie's second album.
Did you ever finish it, Matty Cohen? Jay-Z, Hard Knock. It's a hard knock life. And oddly, when I finished it, never lost a guy.
Really?
Yeah. Nice. Like when you just I was just dialed in.
Yeah.
Like when you're towards the end.
Like I was always Auger, the character Auger with the big bulldozer with the spinning fucking
You're going
corkscrew.
super OG? Wait.
Yeah, I'm a real original PlayStation, not PlayStation 2, not like OG PlayStation.
Wait, Twisted Metal to me was like the ice cream truck, and there was
Yeah.
the Hummer, the Humvee. I always had the little dune buggy. That was the one I picked with little rockets.
Shit was dope. That was a dope game, man.
But I don't remember a fucking bulldozer.
Yeah, it was kind of like it was some type of industrial vehicle, but it had a drill on the front of it.
It was very slow, but it had a great defense.
And you could your special move was you'd literally get people like you'd shish kebab their ass on that drill and smash them into shit. You could fuck shit up. So we'd be playing that and doing blow, snort, and it's like, you know what, we need to separate. And he was like, he had gotten to the point where he was really good at it. He like researched it, and so a couple failed attempts. Plus, I listened to Ghetto Dope by Master P a lot, and he would give you the recipe for how to make crack.
When you fail at cooking speed, can you salvage it and still get high?
Yeah, I never cook speed, but like I watch guys cook crystal meth, and you can, because it just turns soupy. So you just like let it congeal.
I'm saying, if you just put that in a spoon and drink it, are you gonna get high?
I wouldn't drink it because it would be so repugnant. But you either inject the soup, or you just wait and let it congeal, and then you smoke the fumes. You light up onto the spoon, like you see like dudes smoke heroin, where they put it in the spoon, then they just put the straw right to it.
So your buddy looks at you and goes, "Hey, guess what, man? I figured out how to cook dope."
Yes. Well, no, he had like been doing it behind our backs, like he had like prepared it, because, like I said.
He's a go-getter.
People look down on crack. It seems like a ghetto drug, which it is.
I don't know why people
which
look
it
down
is,
on crack.
but it's incredibly. Look, all it is regular cocaine mixed with baking soda, and they distill it. It's a poor man's freebase.
It's super cheap,
You
right?
distill it down. If you can't afford freebase, which is just pure rock crystallized
Richard
cocaine,
Pryor style,
right? You make crack, which is it's a more distilled form of coke, so that way you can make your coke last longer, and it's more effective. It's more potent. And it kind of, gives you more bang for your buck.
George Carlin said in one of his books, the height of his success, he owned a jet. Like he didn't know how to fucking fly or anything. And he smoked dope and got like super sped out. And he got a 12-pack of fucking Schlitz and brought like 8 joints. And he just sat at like Teterboro Airport in his private jet and looked at the New York skyline, fucking high as fuck, drinking beer and smoking joints. And he was like, what is better in life than this right now?
Sounds pretty awesome.
It does sound, but then you're like, but wait a minute, you're just alone in a jet. Like, that's what you see when you come out the other end. But at the time, he was like, fuck everybody. I smoke crack. It wasn't crack. I don't know what it was. It was smoking speed.
Yeah.
And then he just had a bunch of joints and beer, and he sat in his private jet alone on the ground.
Right. And at that point, it did seem like the greatest thing in the world. But it's like, you really, really do wish that George Carlin could have had a family, or like done other things that would have completely replaced that, and it would have been way more fulfilling.
Greatest that ever lived.
Comedy wise, yeah.
I once was really I was in Montreal doing a movie with for a while I made pretty good money playing the white guy in black movies.
Yeah.
And I was doing King's Ransom with Anthony Anderson, Charlie Murphy, Kalita Smith from like the Bernie Mac show, and it was super fun. We were up in Montreal, and
that cast sounds fun.
Yeah, we got a bunch of grass from a local Russian mafia lord in Montreal. Fantastic. Very strange. And we got so high in our hotel that we didn't know if the Simpsons were in French or in English. And my friend Marty, who was with me, he was like a 55-year-old deadhead. He looks like Papa Smurf. Like he's fucking all about it.
Yeah.
And Anthony Anderson takes a hit from the joint and goes, "Is this nigga speaking French or English?" And at that moment, Bart Simpson goes, "Ha, ha, ha, ha." And my friend Marty goes, "English." It's true. So we found out that some of the pot that this guy gave us had PCP in it.
Good.
And angel dust and shit. And we're like, holy moly, this is fucking bad news. Like, we're all having a bad time. Kalita Smith comes down the hall, because when you do a movie, all the actors stay in one hotel, usually.
Yeah.
And she comes in, she's holding a stick of incense. Super sexy girl. I mean, she's like a sister. Like, she used to run numbers in fucking Oakland. Like, she can
Fantastic.
Yeah, like, she can fight.
Oakland, for those of you who are not listening in California, Oakland really is like Detroit. Like, just by virtue of growing up there, you're tough.
Yes.
You like,
Mitch Mulaney.
Yeah.
Remember Mitch?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, he could fight.
Yeah.
So she comes in, she knocks on the door, I answer. She's holding a stick of incense. It's lit. She's just standing in the hallway holding incense. And she walks over to the ashtray and she picks up like the Louisville Slugger-sized joint that's PCP. And I go, oh, you don't want to smoke that. It's got angel dust in it. And she just looks at me and she goes, I'll fuck with it. And that's her fucking joint for the night.
Atta girl.
Like these guys that I'm around and these chicks, like these people fucking took it up a notch.
Yeah.
And me and Marty are like the fucking upstate New York hippies, like, just smoke a little grass, maybe go for a walk. You know, let's just fucking dial it. This is after I've quit everything else but pot, right?
I got some flax seeds in my room.
Yeah, let's fucking hang out, man. Let's go to the store and buy some sunflower seeds and we'll fucking walk around. I heard there's a nunnery. Let's see what the old nunnery. I bet it's beautiful architecture. Let's just look at the architecture. It'd be nice. St. Lawrence River's around here somewhere.
You have your camera? You have your camera?
You got your camera. Let's get stoned and just take pictures. But everyone else is like super fucked up and high. Bottom line is the next day I decide to drive to Manhattan to my apartment to do some business. Marty flies out. And I take a roach with me on my way to get my rent-a-car out of the valet. As I approach the Canadian-U.S. border, I realize I have fucking drugs. Like, am I an idiot? So I pull over and I hollow out my chapstick. I never told you this before?
No.
I hollow out my chapstick and I put the roach in my chapstick.
There was not at all. There was not one moment where you said, "Well, I'll just ditch the drugs."
Well, no, it's a 7-hour drive, and I want to go through the Adirondacks in upstate New York.
I understand that, but you're now coming to the border into a different country. If it was not one point, you didn't say to yourself, "Maybe I should just ditch this."
I thought it, and if it was like joints or like an eighth and above, I totally would have went. Okay. This is fucking crazy, and I have done that in the past. Or what you do is you like pull over at like a La Quinta Inn in fucking Bath, New York, and you just get a room for $60, put your drugs, cross the border, you pick them up 3 days later.
That's devotion.
That's what you got to do. So for all you guys out, I'd like to hear about it, potheads. So but it's a roach about an inch of this joint. I put it in the chapstick. I put the wax back on top of it. I close it. I put the chapstick back in my toiletry bag. I put that back in my backpack. I put that inside my luggage. I put the spare tire from the rent-a-car on top of my luggage. And
that's the dumb move.
All my dirty clothes.
Suspicious.
All my dirty clothes on top. No, but I put it at an angle. Like fuck, I just changed it. Yeah. I didn't put it like flat, like perfect, like the Capitol building. I just put it at a rakish angle. Like, hey man, I just fucking rented a car. In my mind, I'm going, if you're gonna bust me for a roach, you're gonna fucking earn it.
Yeah.
And I got all my nasty socks and underwear and shit all over and magazines, just stupid scripts, so they know like I'm in showbiz. Like in my mind, like they know I'm in showbiz. They won't even think to check me for drugs. Fucking idiot. I get to the border and the guy at the border is like waving people through, like what's your country. I get to it, the border to go into New York State from Canada. And the guy goes, go ahead. Like, he doesn't even ask me what country I'm from. And I just drive through. And I get like a mile away. And I get like irrationally angry. Like, I had fucking drugs, man. Yeah. Like, fuck you. How dare you not fucking ask me 2 questions? I had shit. And then I go, oh my God, I have drugs.
Yeah.
Like, let's go smoke that shit. So I pull over in like a Big Lots parking lot. And it takes me an hour to find this fucking roach. And I got to it takes me another hour to light it because I got to get all the wax off of it.
Yeah.
I finally get it up and running. And I just, Denzel, those are some mad size hits you took, dog. Ha ha. All right. That's what you're telling me.
My man. You definitely say my man at one point.
My man. Ha ha ha. And I smoked the whole thing and I hold it deep. It's a 6-hour drive. I got to make this fucking high last. So it's about 3 big hits, and I hold them in until I'm coughing my balls off. And about 14 minutes go by, and I start to feel unlike I've ever really felt before. I start feeling like I'm astral planing. There's some weird connection between the twilight and me. And then I feel like I'm going to have diarrhea out of every pore in my body. Mm-hmm. Now, little did I know, that roach was one of those fucking PCP roaches.
Dude.
And I just smoked I smoked that shit like a fucking man, like holding it in, like till you almost pass out.
By the way, and I'm a hardened veteran drug user. And when 2 times I've used PCP, like people, this is not, I mean, it really wrecks your whole idea of what the world is. You're done.
I didn't know what my feet were for. I knew I had them, but I didn't know what they were for. Meanwhile, I'm driving. It starts to snow in upstate New York.
Good.
I'm so high.
Safe.
But I don't know it's snow. I think I'm in Star Wars, and in my car, I hit hyperspace. And I'm going, holy fuck. And there's all like, now someone switched at, like, I don't know what my dashboard means. And I'm like, this must be what the Gemini astronauts thought. Cause this is fucking other level shit, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, I entered a portal in my mind. I'm no longer in upstate New York. I'm in fucking outer space. And I don't know that there's a dashboard. And I'm avoiding the light. I don't want to get hit in the face with stars.
Sure.
So I'm bobbing and weaving like a fighter. And I think maybe I should box professionally.